Before the stars were formed, before time began, heaven once trembled with war. It was the day Michael, the Archangel of Light, stood against Lucifer, the morning star. The first war in heaven changed creation forever. But few know this: the war was never truly over. Prophecy whispers of a second war, a final celestial battle when Michael will rise again, not to defend heaven, but to purge the skies for Earth's last judgment. This is the story of the second war in heaven, when Michael struck again. Long before Eden bloomed, heaven was divided. Lucifer, once the most radiant of angels, turned his heart toward pride. He desired the throne of the Almighty, and so began the first rebellion, a storm of light against light. Michael, commander of heaven's hosts, stood unshaken. With the sword forged in divine fire, he struck Lucifer down. A third of heaven's angels fell with the morning star, cast into darkness, the ancient beginning of all evil. But though the war ended, it left a scar, not only on heaven, but on creation itself, because Lucifer swore that if he could not rule heaven, he would corrupt earth. Centuries passed. Humanity grew, fell, and rose again. Prophets came and went. Empires turned to dust. But deep within the prophetic timeline, Revelation 12 gives a glimpse of something greater, a war that mirrors the first. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. This is not the ancient war. This is future tense. It foretells a second war, one that erupts when the powers of heaven and hell collide again, when Satan attempts to reclaim the heavens before his final defeat on earth. When this happens, the very fabric of spiritual reality will shake. Lightning will tear through the skies, and the voice of Michael will echo again across eternity. John, the prophet of Revelation, saw a vision. The dragon, Satan, rising again with fury because he knows his time is short. He gathers his fallen angels, now darker and more twisted than ever. But the heavens are not silent. From the higher realms, Michael's armies rise once more. This is not just a celestial battle, it's a cleansing. The Bible says that during this war, Satan will lose all access to heaven forever. No longer able to accuse mankind before God, he is cast down completely to earth. And that marks the beginning of the Great Tribulation. In that moment, the second war in heaven becomes the spark that ignites the end. Imagine it, millions of angelic beings clashing in blinding light, wings of fire, swords of thunder, planets trembling as heaven's gate burns with divine fury. When Michael strikes, his power surges through the heavens like lightning itself. Lucifer's rage fills the void. He screams, not in defeat alone, but in desperation, because he knows this is his last war. He will never return to heaven. His dominion will now be limited to the earth, a prison he will soon destroy in fury. And when he falls, his angels, the principalities, the rulers of darkness, fall with him. What begins in heaven ends on earth, and the world will feel the quake of that celestial war in the form of chaos, deception, and terror, the rise of the Antichrist. While the dragon falls, heaven's armies shine brighter than ever. Michael's victory is not just defense, it's purification. Heaven is cleansed of all rebellion, but on earth, his mission changes. Daniel 12 says, "At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince who stands for the children of thy people." That means Michael's war is not over. It continues for humanity. He becomes the divine protector of God's remnant, those who keep faith in the darkest time of tribulation. And when the final trumpet sounds, Michael will lead the charge that bridges heaven and earth once again, ushering in the return of the King. In the end, the second war in heaven is more than an ancient prophecy. It's the reminder that the battle for creation never truly ended. It began in heaven, moved to earth, and will finish in glory. When Michael struck again, it wasn't out of rage. It was divine justice, a cleansing of the cosmos. preparing the way for God's eternal kingdom. And when the skies open for the final time, and the armies of heaven march behind the rider on the white horse, the story that began before time itself will finally end in victory. Because even after 2 wars in heaven, one truth stands eternal: light always wins.